All right, here we are going to find the volume of this cone. We're going to round to the nearest tenth if necessary, and if we have to use pi, we're going to use 3.14 to approximate pi. So here, this is a cone. The formula for the volume of a cone is volume is equal to 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. So the first thing we need to do is find the area of the base. So here on my cone, my base is a circle. So it's this circle that I have highlighted in yellow. This is the base. So it's a circle. So we need to find, before we can do anything else, the area of that circle. So if you remember from last week, the area of a circle is equal to pi times the radius squared. So if we go down here to our picture, we can see that the distance from one half of the circle to the other half is 9.2 feet. That 9.2 is the diameter. To find the radius, we take the diameter and divide it by 2. So we're going to take 9.2 and divide that by 2. So let's do that on our calculator here. 9.2 divided by 2, oops, not 5, is going to give us 4.6. So here we have a radius of 4.6. So we're going to take that and substitute it in our formula here for the area of a circle. So the area is going to be equal to 3.14, because the problem tells us to use 3.14 for pi, times our radius, which we found down here is 4.6 squared. So now we're going to go through and we're going to type this equation into the calculator. So 3.14 times, in parentheses, 4.6, close the parentheses, squared. When we do that, we get that the area is equal to 66.4424 feet squared. Now, we are not going to round to the nearest tenth yet. You do not want to round as you go. You want to use the exact answers all the way through and then round at the end. So we're not going to round this number here for area. We're going to use that, and then at the end, when we're done, we will round. So volume is equal to 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. We found that the area of the base is 66.4424 feet squared. So we're going to take that 66.4424 and substitute that in for the area of the base. And then from the picture here, we see that the height, the distance from the apex of the cone to the base here, is 10.7. So we're going to substitute 10.7 in for height. And now we're going to take this and we're going to calculate it. So we have 1/3 times 66.4424 times 10.7. And now you see we get a really long decimal. So we are going to round it to the nearest tenth before we write it down. So to round to the nearest tenth, we look at the hundredths place. If the number in the hundredths place is 5 or bigger, it's going to round the tenths place up. So you'll see that 7 is bigger than 5. So it's going to round this 9 up to a 0, which would make this 237, so 237.0, because we want to go to the nearest tenth, feet cubed. That would be the volume of our cone.